Hello, everybody. My friends, engineer and the technical people. We are going to talk today about troubleshooting or fault findings. The fault findings is a very important point with all mechanics because if anybody receive money or take money or earn money, he is economist man. Economist is you have to make the earn money to be useful for his company and his family. So he has to define the problem well, because if he earn $100 per day, and the job there are machine or work, its cost repair cost is 15 dollars, and the man takes 3 days for repair it. He is not economist. So we have to any mechanics or engineer must be economist man. So the troubleshooting, what's the meaning of the definition of the troubleshooting or finding? It's divining is the problem and getting the causes of the fault quickly and accurately without wasting time. That is, it precedes the pre-reform stage. It's the first stage before you do anything or any work in the repair. You have to make trouble finding or troubleshooting. This is important. Some people say this is it's a complicated thing or difficult. It's not difficult if it's systematic, or if you use the methodology method. It will be very easy. Step by step, you can be foreman and reach the troubleshooting easily. I give you an example. This man complains our engine emits black smoke. If you see the reason for the black smoke for the diesel engine, you can see more than 11 reasons, but I write here only 7 reasons for this fault. If the man deal with all 11 method, he will not be economist. Why? Because this 11 processes, I need a time, maybe 5 days or 6 days, but you cannot imagine that man will earn $15 for a job, and he stays 7 days to repair one fault. This is crazy. So you must check one or two, at maximum 3 reasons for the fault, and then repair it. It will not take time. In this case, you will be economist. So in this video, we'll see how to reach the right reason for the fault, and minimize time, and to minimize the money. The problem here, many technical say, especially the new technical man, he say, I cannot. It's hard to me to find fault. It's responsible or duty of the foreman. Say no. It's not true, because this video you will discuss how to find the fault itself, and will be like the old technical man. Why? Because the process is all the process. This man, this use, he know all the process can done, and he practices in the training center or by himself, or learning from anybody. Suppose same. This man can adjust the valve. This man adjust a timing. This man, like this man, change oil filter and air filter and the oil, like this man. All practice can do. This new man technical can do all the practice can be done by this old technical. But the problem is, the difference is, this man can easily reach the troubleshooting in less time. So in this video, we'll learn this man how to find the troubleshooting or fault finding easily in some methods. But here I give you general advices before working with the troubleshooting. or repairs instinct. You must trust in yourself that are able to solve the problem. The confidence is 80% of solving troubleshooting. You have to be confident, you have to be trust in yourself. And don't receive easily and follow principles, solve the fault, and consider job is attempt to prove oneself or yourself. So this is important. This is important. You have to be brave man to and address the problem easily, and you have to get the confidence to solve the problem. Second, in solving the fault, follow the methodological steps in investigating the fault and don't jump to a specific solution in advance because it may be mistake and keep you from reaching the fault. As example, the engine emits smoke emits black smoke. In this case, someone say this is the reason is a injector need adjustment. If you follow these things, if you follow this answer, it's not good because if you follow this, you can lost the really you cannot reaching the really fault for reason or reaching the really reason for the fault. So we will lose the time. So you have to think before working. Pay attention to the fault, but consider it is a minor problem. Don't be hesitated. Deal as a brave man. Follow the principle form. Think a lot. Do a lot, and vice versa. If you think too much, because you will face or address many reasons. If you think a lot, in this case you can eliminate many reasons. Like the last page, there are 11 reasons for the black smoke. In this case, if you think a lot, you can eliminate some reason of it, and so you will work a little. Number 5, it's necessary to know the company's laws or the customer condition. The repair contracts must be synchronized. Why? Because you are economist, you have to follow the company's law and you can care with the contract itself. So it's important. Sometimes maybe sometimes the engine make black smoke and the company cannot appear the cost of overhaul. So if you make overhaul, you will make a problem to the company and yourself. Not all faults require high technique detection devices. Really, sometimes maybe one engine is stopped. Maybe it's need only bleed air from the fault system. The engine will work. It does not need high technical. But remember that the mechanics is tools, because mechanics the tools can help the mechanics well, and make the detection devices make it easy for you to reach the fault. It's very important. Like if the engine need overhaul, if the engine burn oil, so I want to ask myself, how can I decide to make overhaul or not? If I have oil pressure gauge, I can see I can see this need overhaul, complete overhaul or half overhaul. So it's important to have a tools. Tools is very important. Also, when you tighten a bolt, you need torque wrench. Don't believe, accept the existence of the fault easily, and perhaps from the report about the existence of the faults in the incorrect or accuracy. So in this case, sometimes the owner say to you his engine emits black smoke, and they say this is bad. The injector is bad. If you follow him, in this case you will lose your way, and you cannot reach the correct or accurate reason for the fault itself. So don't jump to one reason. Listen and decide by yourself. Number 9, the equipment or machine is like a person. it is necessary to know the sick history to him. Any doctor, if anyone go to doctor, he asks him, what is your history of your history? So in this case, you can see the history can explain many things to the doctor. Likewise, the equipment the mechanic must have to know the repair history of the equipment itself, because on the fault from the maintenance fault, this will help the mechanics to reach the reason for the fault itself. Learn about the nature of the location of the machine agent or machine repair company, phone number and address, because sometimes there are bulletins from the reach to the machine company from their agent, and maybe there are modifications, something like this. Sometimes you need some information, because not all mechanics has all information about his machine, so he can know some or take some advice or ask about the parts found or not. So he must take the phone and the number or address for the machine agent. Remember that the customer wishes the cost to be less valuable, but he forgets the value after the repair. You is responsible for repair. You is responsible for repair. No one can give you excuse after repair. Even the owner, the customer paid much or low. So don't you have to use original parts. Original parts. You have to make good work. Don't concern for the cost. It's very important. Let us see the fault investigation methods. There are two methods. One, first of all, right, and this is the old one, right and wrong approach, try and error. The logical approach, you can see this one, this mechanics in the world do this one. Maybe they didn't know, they don't know how to use the logical approach, or sometimes they have to find work. Maybe the machine need a small work. He make many times to earn much money from the customer. So, but this method, what is this method? This method, when you go to him and the engine's black smoke, he can say to you, the engine need change the air filter. Okay, if you change it, oh, it's a need. The mechanic told the customer, it's a need, adjust the injector. Oh, not. Then it's a need to adjust the full pump and make overhaul for it, and then until the repair happened by itself. This method is very bad, because it's a wasted time and effort and a lot of money from the customer itself. So it's your company will be in bad position. But all in spite of this, and it's needed in the event that the defect or safety of the electrical or mechanical part cannot be determined. Like, I am a mechanical man. I know I'm mechanical, not electrical or electronic. And in the machine itself there is a panel, electronic panel, and I cannot check it. What can I do? I bring a new one and put it instead of the used one. If the fault finished or eliminated, then I'll say okay. If not, I found another thing or another reason. This is used only this situation. This depends on that's any part of the fault. This part also it's a need to have a big stock of parts to change it, and sometimes you would change something. Maybe it's good, and maybe it's good. Like I bring some injector, but some new injector instead of the existing the injector in the machine. In this case, I lost the used injector and also some parts. So it's very bad. method. But the thing is good is the logical approach. This is economical in all respects. It's based on the logical based. It's based some steps logic. Logical things in the cases of the fault depends on the classifying the cases of the fault systematically and not as a part. If you want to make a comparison between this method and this method, like if I ask you where is your brother, he told him you can in this method you can told me he is with my uncle or my aunt or see the football match or in his friend Ahmed. In this method, so I have to look in this in four places or ask or looking for these persons. This is a right or wrong approach. It needs time. But here in the logical approach, he say here I know his brother. His brother is like a football match, football. So in this case, I will go to the playground, to the match playground to see. Oh, I found him in the club to see the match. This is logical when I use my logical approach. Logical approaches have 7 steps. First of all, the methodological approach, logical approach, it's depend on to eliminate any fault have many reasons. So in logical approach, I will eliminate some reason to reach 1 or 2 reason and examine it, and maximum 3 at maximum case 3 reason for the fault itself. What I know this, what the meaning of no system? When you meet a new friend, you ask him from where, what his name, what his career. You ask him himself, because any questions has a meaning, In the engine itself, all same. Study the technical manual. In this case, study the technical manual. Okay. Black and smoke. One of them is turbocharger. If turbocharger is broken or weak, the engine will emit smoke. In this case, if there is no turbocharger, I omit this reason. Also, some engine has shut-off valve on the manifold itself. So if there is no shut-off valve, I will omit this. Step by step, I will make something. So I want the accessories or auxiliary with the engine. Study it and know the technical data like the valve clearance, kind of oil, kind of fuel, something like this. Keep up the service bulletins. I have to follow the new things about the engine itself. Keep up the service bulletins. Study the equipment maintenance book. You have to study the schedule of the maintenance itself to govern or estimate the engine the reason is maintenance reason or not. Here, know the system. I can show you something like this. In this video, the engine have to look at the grade of oil, the grade of oil, the specification, the spare parts, everything need about the when decide the engine. See, there are turbocharger or shut-off valve, all auxiliary. Give all information to know the machine. What is the machine have? This is the grade of oil needed. Maybe the grade of oil used is not good or not suitable for this engine. Maybe it will be the reason. So you have to know the system. This is a very, 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 very important. Second thing, ask the operator. It's very, very important. If you want to discover the mechanic is good or not, listen to him. If you bring it to him, if the mechanic ask the customer too much, that means this mechanic is good man. Why? Because you want to reach the troubleshooting in less time and less expense. Here there are many questions, but there are many questions depending on the type of the fault, but there are some fixed questions. Every fault have many questions. Like when the engine is heating, I have to ask the customer some questions. If the engine is not working, I have to ask some question. I'll ask question. And the aim is black smoke or white or blue. There are many questions I must ask him. But there are some questions it's important to ask. And all fault. When did the fault begin? Because some fault begin suddenly, and some of them is need a time gradually. What are condition of the fault? Yeah, what condition of the fault? Some fault can be happened in some times in some condition and cannot happen in another. Like emits black smoke when the engine when the car go up bridge or something or go up a bridge, we can make smoke, but in the straight way he not emits smoke. This is has a meaning. The mechanic have to discover that the power if the engine is too weak, need the compression is weak. Third, what is the last fix done? Last fix done can be eliminated or can be reason for the fault itself. You have to think about it, because maybe the last mechanic do made wrong repair, so I make it in mind. If the fault is frequently or intermittent or continuous, it's different. You will discover many things in this case. Remember, some drivers may be lying. Maybe he want to make joke with the mechanical or make him in troubles, or he maybe the driver want to take a holiday, so he cannot take a holiday without if the engine is running. So he can make troubles and to take a holiday during repair time, or maybe sometime is not understanding the fault. One man came to me, operator of the bulldozer. He said to me that the engine is there are leakage from the rear seal of the engine. Or if I follow him, in this case I have to remove the engine and dismantling it and repair and put a new seal. This is need 3 or 4 days. But by studying this case, I found the oil leakage from in the front of engine not need for this work, and he didn't understand the fault well. So ask the operator here. In this case, this is the operator complains that the engine emits black smoke. So I asked him questions. If he changed the air filter or clean it. And the last day for the last inspection for the injector and pump also, and asked them when it's happened this black smoke, when he carry the engine or not. Yeah, we use the engine, left the weight, or go or at starting or at time. What's the condition of the fault itself when it's happened? What the first time it's happened? He make a maintenance gradually or not? The kind of fault he used. Many ask questions, but it's concerned with the black smoke, not any questions. I cannot ask about the radiator cap. This is not important for black smoke. So I ask about something can make some reason can make the black smoke. So it's important to ask operator even he didn't understand or even he seemed to be a liar. So ask. Good mechanic must ask, make investigation with driver, whatever is. Number 3, inspect the machine. Inspect the machine, use your eyes, your ears, and the nose. Leaks here, there's many leaks of maybe there are water leakage oil leakage, fuel leakage. Also maybe battery cables is not mounted well. Power transmission wires disconnected, connecting rod disconnected, sorry, not connecting rod, connected rod, not this one. Maybe the leakage can explain so many things. Maybe disconnecting rod, this mean not I see here about this is connecting rod, wire, disconnected wire. I mean here disconnected wire. But here inspecting the machine is very very important. Why? Because maybe somebody complains that the engine is hot. If I found by eyes the belt, cooling belt is cutting or loose, maybe it's easy to know this is the reason. If oil leakage, oil lamp, pressure lamp, oil light, and there are leakage of oil, this is the reason. Fuel, maybe the fuel is not leakage of fuel. That means it's important to see that there maybe there is no fuel in the tank itself. This is the reason the engine is not start. Battery cable is if it's loose, maybe can make bad connection for battery, so the engine cannot work. So this is important. You have to go around. First of all, go around the equipment itself, excavator or something, heavy machinery or car, something, whatever. You have to go around to see unusual things or bad things. To maybe this is a reason. Here, inspect the machine. I show you method here. I check the tire, everything. You have to check. You give the machine its need, the oil measurement, many things. Give him the oil, adjust the oil, adjust the coolant, engine oil, transmission oil, torque converter oil. See all cables, is it good connection or not. See if there are leakage. The light, not light, if something broken, if anything unusual, you have to check it by use your eyes, your nose, your ears to see if there is something wrong or not. First of all, to repair any machine, you have to adjust all coolant. Maybe this is the reason. One day, one complains that the oil pressure lamp is light. So first of all, I check remove the dipstick and check the oil level. So I found there is no oil in the oil pan itself. So I filled the oil and I finished the problem and make good repair. It's easy. So you have to check. Operate the machine. Number 4, operate the machine. The important things for the operating the machine by yourself, make sure there are a fault. This is important. You can see the customer right or not. The fault is found or not. This is important. You cannot look for something you don't see. Check the meter readings. This is important. When you will start the engine, to see all meters. It must be in good conditions, that like heating, fuel. There are fuel in the machine, and the temperature gauge, oil pressure gauge, all gauge in the machine itself. You have to check it. Maybe it can explain to you the reason of the fault itself. Number 3, listen to the sound produced by equipment. You're running the engine, and you see if there are some sound is not good, is produced unusual. Maybe is the reason. Try to notice any new smell. If there are a strange smell, you maybe this is the reason. If you feel that there are burned oil, maybe the leakage of oil on the exhaust, and the exhaust manifold, he make a bad smell. You can check. Note the presence of leaks during operation. You have to check, making many operation, and check the movement of the machine itself, and this is the color of the host, the condition of load when you use idle speed or make stable speed. See there is smoke or not. Like I give you advice. If there are a lack of power, you have you if you press in the pedal and make it stable, fix, and you see there are smoke, this means the engine need adjustment. Maybe the reason is the valve clearance, injector timing of the pump, injection time is not correct. So it's important. And here we can make some tests also. Make some tests of the machine. Like maybe I want to check, if I want to check there are air in the fuel system. In this case, I will press in the pedal. If I press the pedal and there is no excess sound, and the sound of the engine does not increase, so in this case I discovered there are air in the fuel system, or clogged filter, or clogged filter. So I have to make some tests, I know, to discover something. Control device, I have to check control devices work efficiently or not. This is important because the machine in recent times there are many controls, or many devices controls the machine itself. Here I have to check. I check myself and run the engine and see all the panel to see all the reading, the temperature, fuel, oil pressure, and make operation test for every part for the machine. Lift or lower the press pedal to see the exhaust or not. Make many tests which can help me to discover the fault itself, to finding the fault itself. This is very important. Number 5, list the possible fault, which I put it in the first page. There are 11. My problem now is black smoke. Black smoke, I write 11 reasons for black smoke. I make a list for it. Then reach conclusion. This is in this case, look over all the possible cases and decide which are most likely and which are easiest to verify. This is very important. هنا reach conclusion here, it must be 1 or 2, maximum 3 reasons. How can I get it? By deduct the possible conclusion minus the reason which I eliminated in step number 1 and number 2 and number 3 and number 4. In step number 1 I eliminate some reason. In step number 2 I still eliminate some reason. Step number 3 I eliminate some reason. Step number 4 I eliminate some reason. So in this case there will be 1 or 2 reasons for the fault itself. Maximum 3 reasons. Number 7, test the conclusion. All 7 steps, it's not taking money, not to take much time. It's easy. It will make it will be little time. I will give you an example. Engine emits smoke, which I talked about it. Here there are reasons. I have to reach 1 or 2, maximum 3 reasons. I will check it. Look here, the turbocharger is damaged. From the system knowledge, I can see if there are turbocharger or not. If there are no turbocharger as a system knowledge, say step number 1, I eliminate this one. So the remainder will be 10. The air filter is clogged. Knowing the maintenance schedule. If I go to maintenance schedule and see the filter is cleaned, maintenance schedule, So I can eliminate this one. The timing of injection is correct. This is possibility may be because the possibility because cannot this told me this one because it can done by the mechanic. Engine injector damage maintenance schedule. If I make it the maintenance from 2 months, okay. Dented air hose. This is by visual inspection. Air intake obstruction, visual inspection also. The air filter has not been changed according to the maintenance schedule. Maintenance, I can see by maintenance schedule and driver questions. Turbocharger is weak. Test the equipment and ask the driver. Test the equipment number 4 by the mechanic itself, and ask the driver also some question. Cooling the air intake manifold by visual inspection. Close the air gate to enter the air. هنا equipment experiment system knowledge or physical examination. Poor fuel quality known from the system for system and asking the driver what kind of oil you used. This is important, but keep in mind important things. You have to make to all the machine or all cars or equipment a book. Write in it all information about it, serial number, amount of fuel, amount of oil, kind of oil, everything, and the oil change interval, any repair you will done. You have to make history for your machine. Your machine like a man. He has a history of the sector. Thank you very much. I hope to meet again. We'll meet again, continue to discuss diesel